Why do people misunderstand you in relationships? Why does love feel like a battlefield when all you want is peace? You're not cold, you're not emotionless, you're not too independent for love. You're a Sigma female, and the world doesn't know how to handle you. Society celebrates two types of women in relationships: the alpha female, who dominates and leads, the beta female, who nurtures and follows. But then there's you, the Sigma female, the one who doesn't fit the mold, the one who chooses herself first, always, the one who loves deeply but refuses to lose herself in love. And because of that, your impact in relationships is unseen, unspoken, and often misunderstood. But today, we're changing that. Let's talk about the silent power of Sigma females in relationships. In a world where people are often placed into neat little boxes, the Sigma female stands apart. She doesn't fit into the usual categories of how a woman is expected to behave in love and relationships. She's not the dominant, take-charge alpha female, nor is she the nurturing, supportive beta female. She is something else entirely, an enigma, a mystery, a force of nature that doesn't follow society's rulebook for love. This is exactly why relationships for a Sigma female can be both fulfilling and frustrating. She experiences love deeply, but she also experiences the disconnect of not being understood. So, how does a Sigma female approach love? How does she navigate relationships in a world that often misunderstands her? Let's dive deep into the unique way a Sigma female loves and why it confuses people, especially men. Most people enter relationships looking for validation. They want to hear, "You're beautiful, you're worthy." But a Sigma female, she already knows her worth. She doesn't need a partner to confirm her value or make her feel whole, because she already feels whole on her own. Her confidence doesn't come from compliments, attention, or external validation. It comes from a deep internal understanding of who she is. This is why she's not the type to constantly seek reassurance in relationships. She doesn't text endlessly just to feel secure. She doesn't need someone to remind her that she's enough. This confuses people, especially men, because so many are used to partners who crave their approval. For men who define their worth by being needed, the Sigma female's self-sufficiency can feel like a rejection, but it's not. It's just who she is. In today's world of instant gratification, most people expect constant communication in relationships, texting all day, calling every night. But a Sigma female doesn't need constant connection. She needs meaningful connection. She doesn't care for small talk. She doesn't do forced conversations just to keep the spark alive. What she craves is depth. She'd rather have 1 hour of deep, meaningful conversation than 100 shallow text exchanges. She wants to talk about ideas, dreams, fears, and philosophies, not just "How was your day?" This can confuse partners, especially men who equate more communication with more love. If she doesn't text back immediately, it doesn't mean she's losing interest. If she doesn't need to see her partner every single day, it doesn't mean she's pulling away. It just means she values quality over quantity. Many people, when faced with neglect or mistreatment in a relationship, will fight for love. They'll plead. They'll beg for attention. They'll hold on, hoping their partner changes. A Sigma female, she doesn't fight for love. She doesn't chase. If she feels unappreciated, disrespected, or undervalued, she simply leaves. And that's why so many people regret losing her. She doesn't believe in forcing someone to love her. If she's not cherished, she walks away without drama, without ultimatums, without looking back. This is powerful because, unlike most people, she doesn't believe love should be a battle. She doesn't believe in convincing someone to stay. She knows that the right person will never need to be convinced. A Sigma female is not afraid of love. She's not cold, distant, or unfeeling. She loves, but she loves differently. Her love is deep, intense, and real, but it's also quiet. It's not loud, dramatic, or performative. She won't constantly say, "I love you." She won't put on a show for social media. She won't play the role of the perfect girlfriend just to fit expectations. Instead, she shows love through actions. She listens when no one else does. She stands by her partner when times get tough. She respects her partner's independence. Her love isn't about control, possession, or proving something to the world. It's about genuine, unbreakable connection. And because of this, many partners don't realize her love's value until she's gone. Loyalty means different things to different people. To some, loyalty means giving up everything for a relationship. To others, it means compromising their needs to make a partner happy. For a Sigma female, loyalty means choosing her partner every day, but never losing herself in the process. She is fiercely devoted. She will stand by her partner through anything. She will give her heart fully, but only if her independence is respected. She won't tolerate jealousy, manipulation, or control. She won't be forced into a role that isn't true to her. She won't sacrifice her dreams for someone who can't handle her strength. And this is where the conflict arises in many of her relationships. Some partners mistake her independence for emotional distance. Some feel threatened by the fact that she doesn't need them to survive. Some try to control her, not realizing that the moment they do, she's already planning her exit. Because the truth is, a Sigma female's love is a gift, not an obligation. She stays because she wants to. And the moment she feels trapped, she's gone. The Sigma female is unlike anyone else in relationships. She doesn't play games. She doesn't follow society's expectations. She doesn't love just for the sake of being in a relationship. She loves when it's real. She loves when it's deep. She loves when it doesn't require her to become someone she's not. And that's why so many people don't know how to handle her. But for the right person, for the person who truly understands her, she is the most loyal, powerful, and life-changing partner they will ever have. So if you're a Sigma female, and if you've ever felt misunderstood in love, know this. Your love is not too much. It's too rare. Not everyone will understand it. Not everyone will deserve it. But the one who does, they will cherish it forever. Society has created a rigid blueprint for how women should behave in relationships. You're either submissive or dominant. You either follow or lead. You either let your partner take control or you take control yourself. But what happens when a woman doesn't fit either of those roles? What happens when she rejects the labels, refuses to play a part, and simply exists as her authentic self? That's where the Sigma female comes in. And that's where people start to feel uncomfortable. From a young age, women are subtly, and sometimes not so subtly, pushed into one of two categories. The submissive woman, too, the dominant woman. Both of these categories exist because society loves predictability. People feel safe when they can put someone in a box. They know how to interact with a submissive woman. They know how to handle a dominant woman. But then, there's you. You are neither submissive nor dominant. You don't obey, but you also don't control. You don't submit, but you also don't seek power over anyone. You're something else entirely, a category of your own, and that terrifies people. Why? Because they don't know what to do with you. They can't dominate you because you don't respond to control. They can't make you submit because you refuse to shrink yourself. They can't overpower you, but they also can't overpower you. You simply exist in your own space, making your own rules. You're independent, emotionally strong, and unpredictable. And that is deeply unsettling to those who expect women to behave a certain way. Most men are taught to expect one of two things from a woman in a relationship. A woman who will submit to them, boost their ego, and depend on them. A woman who will try to control them, challenge them, and assert power. But when they meet a Sigma female, they are faced with someone who needs neither control nor validation. She doesn't try to lead or follow. She doesn't play games. She simply exists as her own person. And for men who are used to playing a certain role in relationships, this is deeply unsettling. Because if she doesn't need to be led and she doesn't want to lead, then what role do they play? The answer: a true partner, not a leader, not a follower, just someone who stands beside her, equal, free, and respected. But not every man is ready for that kind of love, and that's why so many struggle to understand Sigma females. The world is built on labels. It loves structure, roles, and predictability. But Sigma females break that system. They refuse to be controlled, but also refuse to control. They don't submit, but also don't dominate. They simply are. And that kind of powerful, unshakable independence, it scares people because it's something they've never seen before. Relationships are supposed to be about love, connection, and understanding. But for Sigma females, love can feel like a battlefield. Not because they don't want love, but because they experience it differently. The biggest misconception about Sigma females: that they don't want love. That's a lie. Sigma females crave deep, meaningful connections just like everyone else. They long for a relationship that is built on trust, authenticity, and mutual respect. They want a partner who understands them, supports their independence, and values their presence. But here's the difference. They refuse shallow, performative love. They don't fall for games, social expectations, forced roles in a relationship. This is where the struggle begins, because most people expect women to either seek love desperately or avoid it entirely. But a Sigma female, she does neither. She doesn't chase, but she's also not afraid of love. She doesn't play hard to get, but she won't settle for anything less than real. She doesn't need a relationship to define her, but she values true connection. And because of this, many partners struggle to understand her. A Sigma female's approach to relationships is so different from what most people expect that she is often misjudged. Here are the most common misconceptions people have about Sigma females when it comes to love. Many people assume that a woman who is independent, self-sufficient, and confident must not want or need love. But this is completely false. Independence and love are not opposites. A Sigma female values her independence because she has worked hard for it. She has built herself up emotionally, mentally, and sometimes even financially, so she won't give that up just to fit into society's idea of a perfect partner. But this doesn't mean she doesn't want love. It simply means she wants a love that complements her life, not one that consumes it. She doesn't want to lose herself in a relationship. She doesn't need a partner to complete her. She needs a partner who understands that she is already whole, and unfortunately, many people don't know how to handle that kind of woman. This is one of the biggest lies about Sigma females. Just because she doesn't wear her heart on her sleeve doesn't mean she doesn't feel deeply. Just because she doesn't constantly express her emotions doesn't mean she doesn't care. Just because she doesn't always say, "I love you," doesn't mean she doesn't love. Sigma females feel everything, sometimes even more intensely than others, but they process emotions internally. While some people express love through constant words of affirmation, public displays of affection, endless texts and check-ins, a Sigma female expresses love through actions, being loyal even when no one is watching, standing by her partner in difficult times, giving space when needed because she respects individuality. Her love is deep and rare, but because it isn't loud or dramatic, many people fail to recognize it. Sigma females are selective about who they open up to. They don't trust easily, and they don't reveal their emotions to just anyone. This isn't because they're incapable of emotional connection. It's because they value emotional depth over emotional performance. Unlike people who seek validation by sharing every detail of their emotions, a Sigma female guards her heart. She needs to be sure that someone is worthy of her vulnerability before she lets them in. This can make her seem distant, closed off, or hard to read. But the truth is, the problem. Most people aren't used to patience in love. They expect instant intimacy. They want immediate emotional availability. But a Sigma female moves differently. She takes her time. She loves slowly but deeply. And in a world obsessed with fast, temporary connections, this makes her stand out. There's a difference between being unwilling to compromise and refusing to sacrifice your identity for a relationship. Sigma females understand that all relationships require give and take. They are willing to listen to their partner's needs, make adjustments to build a healthy connection, work through problems like a mature adult. But what they won't do is change who they are to please someone else, shrink themselves to make a partner feel bigger. Misconceptions about Sigma females lead to challenges in relationships. Since their way of loving is different, they often experience. Sigma females often hear things like, "Why don't you express your feelings more? Why do you always need space? Why can't you just be more open?" The truth. It's not that she doesn't want to be emotionally available. It's that she needs trust, security, and time before she can fully let down her walls. If a partner rushes her, pressures her, or tries to force emotional intimacy, she will pull away even more. When a Sigma female commits to a relationship, her impact is quiet, yet profoundly life-changing. Unlike most partners who seek to possess, control, or constantly validate their love, she does something far more rare. She chooses her partner every single day, freely and without obligation. This is what makes her love so powerful, yet so misunderstood. Society often teaches that love should be built on dependency, constant affirmation, and external validation. But a Sigma female rejects these notions entirely. She does not love out of need, fear, or societal pressure. She loves because she genuinely wants to, and this makes all the difference. Her love is never performative. She doesn't stay just to avoid loneliness or because she feels obligated to keep up appearances. Instead, she stays because her heart tells her to. She loves in a way that is intentional, strong, and deeply personal, which can be both liberating and overwhelming for her partner. Many people enter relationships expecting their significant other to rely on them for happiness, to cling to them for emotional security, or to seek constant validation. But a Sigma female brings something entirely different to the table: emotional independence. She teaches her partner that love is not about control, but about trust, that true connection doesn't come from owning or fixing someone, but from respecting them as an individual. She does not suffocate her partner with neediness, nor does she tolerate toxic attachment patterns that drain a person's sense of self. Instead, she fosters a relationship where both individuals remain whole, yet deeply connected, a balance that many struggle to understand. Her presence in a relationship is like a quiet force of nature. She does not demand attention, yet she commands it. She does not seek approval, yet she is deeply admired. She does not make loud proclamations of love, yet her actions prove her devotion beyond any spoken words. Her partner will never have to wonder if her love is real, because a Sigma female does not waste her time on shallow, temporary, or insincere relationships. If she didn't love you, she simply wouldn't be there. This certainty is both a gift and a challenge for the person she chooses to be with. On one hand, her love provides unmatched security. Her partner never has to question where they stand with her, because she does not play games, does not pretend, and does not settle for anything less than authenticity. On the other hand, her ability to walk away when necessary can be terrifying for those who expect love to come with dependency and compromise at all costs. A Sigma female never stays in a relationship that dims her light, limits her growth, or demands that she shrink herself. She will not tolerate emotional manipulation, control, or dishonesty, and she certainly will not compromise her inner peace for the sake of keeping someone else comfortable. She is willing to work through difficulties, communicate openly, and support her partner fully, but she will never allow herself to be reduced to just a role in someone else's story. She doesn't stay in relationships out of habit. She stays because she chooses to be there every day. And if that choice ever stops aligning with her self-respect, values, and emotional well-being, she will walk away, no matter how deeply she loves. This is perhaps the most misunderstood aspect of a Sigma female's impact in relationships: her ability to leave, even when her heart still cares. Many people assume that love should be about holding on, no matter what. That if you love someone, you should endure anything to make it work. But a Sigma female sees love differently. To her, love is not about sacrifice, it's about synergy. If a relationship becomes one-sided, controlling, or emotionally exhausting, she will let it go, not because she doesn't feel deeply, but because she knows real love should not come at the cost of losing herself. And this is where many Sigma females face heartbreak. Not because they stop loving their partner, but because their partner does not know how to handle real, raw, unfiltered love. The kind of love that isn't based on constant reassurance, but rather deep, mutual respect. The kind of love that does not demand ownership or control, but instead thrives on freedom and authenticity. The kind of love that is fiercely loyal, yet never suffocating. Sadly, many partners fail to understand this. They mistake her emotional strength for indifference, her independence for distance, and her self-respect for unwillingness to compromise. They expect her to be more needy, more dependent, more willing to conform, but that is something she simply cannot do. And so, many Sigma females find themselves walking away, not because they want to, but because they have to. They leave not because they lack love, but because they refuse to stay where they are not truly understood. And this is why the impact of a Sigma female in a relationship is often only recognized after she's gone. It is only after she has left that her partner realizes the depth of her love, her loyalty, and her presence. Only then do they understand that she wasn't just too independent or too distant. She was simply offering a love that most people aren't ready for. A love that required maturity, strength, and the ability to let go of traditional relationship dynamics. A love that was never about control, validation, or fear, but about choice, freedom, and profound connection. And so, the Sigma female walks away, not because she wanted to, but because the world is still learning how to love her the way she deserves. So if you're a Sigma female, and you've ever felt unseen, unappreciated, or too much for love, remember this: your love is not too much, it's too rare. Not everyone will understand you, not everyone will be strong enough to handle your kind of love. And that's okay, because the right person, they won't try to change you, they'll cherish you. Are you a Sigma female? Have you ever felt misunderstood in relationships? Tell me your story in the comments. I read every single one. And if you want to dive even deeper into the secrets of Sigma females in love, click on this next video. You're not alone. And your love, it's a gift. Never forget that.